Hey, true believers. Chris Mack coming at you today with the ultimate crossover of Spawn Wildcats #1. I'm so excited I got my hands on this book. Want to give a shout out to my buddy Isaac who hooked me up with the miniseries. We're both part of a group called Sacred Collectibles, so make sure to check it out. All sorts of cool stuff going on over there. Now this book, this was an interesting read. Now what I liked about it more is the fact that it's written by Alan Moore. So it's just kind of like, yes. Now, the book, the print date on it is January 1996. The artist is Scott Clark. The colorist was Leanne Clark. The inker is Sal Regla. And the letter was Tom Orzanowski. So that's really cool. And the book opens up talking about the Big Bang, which is what they like to use as like the creation of the universe in comics. And they're talking about beyond the rim of reality, there's only magic. So they're talking about right on the outskirts of what the Big Bang's repercussions had caused. There's the world of magic, and so we're introduced to all these different beings. And I love the artwork here. It's just really surreal and wicked. And so they're talking about how they get bored, so they use their own magic to entertain themselves, which in doing so, it always has effects on the universe. And they create this thing called an amulet, which I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But basically, all the other magical beings are just astounded, because here, this is supposed to be our world that he's dipping this amulet into. And what I like is after all this, you kind of think, oh, this is kind of a little bit too much dialogue, but it's leading you and it's explaining what's happening. There's no dialogue like you'd see in a modern book with like, oh my god, that's like so scary. They don't do that. This is just very much to the point. And so again, let me kind of give you an example here where it says, Awis is speechless. Lord Hoss grows afraid. The Lady Cube turns her astounded face towards the swirl and shimmer. In the nothingness beyond the things falls a tense, expected hush. And then we transition on that to Voodoo being in pain. So it immediately sets up the stakes of what we're going to be experiencing in this book. And then we kind of go from that establishing shot to a tight shot of Voodoo, back to a long shot, showing that we are in Halo Industries and we're with the Wildcats. And so she's like, I just got a stab of some sort of psychic energy. She goes, it's probably nothing. She says us psychics can be unstable and imagine things at times. So everyone's about to dismiss it. But what I like here is, okay, show Halo Industries, we kind of see something off in the distance. She goes, wait a minute. That isn't true. You were all in danger, but I wasn't even there. I was gone. Oh God. Do not tremble, sister. That's not the warrior way. We are all safe within these walls. Nothing can harm us. Crack. Love those beats. And then we see Grifter here. And he's you think maybe Voodoo's cracking under pressure. We've all been under a lot lately. And Marlowe's like, I don't know. To tell the truth, I've been feeling sort of apprehensive myself lately, As if this were the lull before the storm. Or something. As if something bad were about to come down. And boom! We are sucked in. Stakes, action, the explosion. And it's Spawn. Just Spawn attacking Halo Industries. You're just like, oh, they're both in the same book. Which, yes, we know at this time that, majority of these people were at Image. Because I think, was it Alan Moore at this time? He was writing Supreme. I think that was his book. I can't remember. Feel free to let me know down in the comments below. But anyway, you come to find out that Spawn's after the Grifter and Void. Not Void, I'm sorry. Grifter and Zealot. And so he's just going through Spartan. Maul can't take him, no matter how big he gets. And just look at the way he moves. And I like the panels, how boom, 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 boom. And it just leads your eye. And so you're like, why is he attacking them? What is going on? And Zealot's just like, by hectic scythe, you'll pay for that creature. And then the artwork kind of gets a little goofy for a second because he gets this look of like, hey, wait a minute. I know this is going to sound stupid, but, well, didn't you used to be black? And Grifter's just like, what's he talking about? Is this guy on crack or something? And you're the grifter, right? So how come your hair isn't gray? So it's kind of one of these like mistaken identity things where Al explains to the Wildcats that there's something going on, and he was using, he was attacked by these two characters calling themselves Grifter and Zealot. And they were getting ready to kill him. And he was kind of like how oh, hold on, let me just show you this gorgeous page. So you see both sides of Spawn here. Great work there. And then we get the story in the middle. And I like how the past is kind of using that sort of blue haziness to kind of show how memory can be tricky. He goes, they were going to kill me, but they ran off. So I've been using my old CIA contacts to track down these people calling themselves the Wildcats, which led me here. And so you're just kind of like, wait a minute. And so I like how Marlowe's just like, your fight with us isn't with us. It's with those pseudo cats or whatever they were. And he's like, I mean, different characters. He's like, that's a pretty lousy imitation. And then I like, again, beat, boom. We're no lousy imitation, Marlowe. We just come from a lousy place. That's all. And so, instead of all the murky memory stuff from Spawn, we finally see what he was talking about. So we see here that this is Cole Cash, but this is a new Zealot. This isn't the Zealot that we're used to. So we're just kind of like, what's going on? And so Spawn, he has to be held back because he's ready to take these two. He's like, why did you try to kill me? And before they can give him answers, the future grifters kind of swifted up to nostalgia. He's like, God, the memories this place brings back for me. I remember when this coat was still new. He's just kind of like, what? And then we see this new Zealot talking to the old one. She goes, and you, I hadn't realized you were so beautiful when you were young, Lady Tapestry. Zealot. So this is one of the spoilers I will give away, is they come from the future. I don't want to give everything away, but they said that there's this evil, does that look familiar? And it's going to happen a month from now. And they said everyone is taken out. And they talk about why they didn't kill Spawn, which again, I don't want to give away. So they go to this future. Spawn accompanies them. And Spartan and Void are a little concerned how the time stream here is run amok, which again, if you remember that opening panel, a lot of this really leads into it. And so the last panel I want to leave off on this book is Grifter's like, wait a minute, you're saying this is the ruin of the Halo building? All that's left of it since the big siege of 05. She goes, okay, let's get those doors open and hit the street so you can get compatible with the year 2015. Dun, dun, dun. I guess, we sort of survived because, it's 2020 now, which I kind of feel like in hindsight, if they had a magic ball, they could see the future, that would have made a lot more sense to make that, desolate future 2020 because, yeah. Anyway, to not get too meta there, but this was an actually really entertaining comic book, and I can't wait to read the rest of the series, but I like how Moore really sets it up. I feel like Scott Clark and the art team really do a great job in terms of giving homage to what the characters are supposed to look like that were created by Jim Lee and Brendan Choi and, of course, Todd McFarlane. So great work all around. I miss when comics were fun like this, where you kind of get this desolate future and we kind of get alternate looking characters. Just great stuff all around. So if you've enjoyed this comic book, please first and foremost check with your local comic shop and see if they can hook you up with a copy of this. If not, then you can check out Sacred, see if anybody's auctioning one of them, which is always a good way to go because then you're helping support local collectors. So good stuff there. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate it if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe That way, as we continue to upload content, you guys can get notified by hitting that fancy little bell next to subscribe. And that way you guys can talk with us down in the comments below and just hear your feedback, or on our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description below. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.